Hi, welcome to Todd's Tips. I'm Todd Barsness, a full-time voiceover talent, and Todd's Tips is a feature of VO Marketing Pro. Now, if you'd like more information about VO Marketing Pro or anything else related to voiceover, just visit our Facebook page, website, or contact us via email. The links are located here. Hey, how you doing? This is Todd, and I'm back with another VO Marketing Pro video about warm replies. So the last time we talked about warm replies with specifically the idea of when somebody gets back with you, a potential client, with a warm reply that says, hey, love your voice, or, great voice, or whatever, we'll keep you in mind, or, something to that effect. Well, this second one that we're going to talk about, this second type of warm reply, is one I get most of after the, hey, we'll keep you in mind type of reply. And that is when they request my standard rates or a quote for a project. So the most important thing to remember about a warm reply is getting back quickly. You want to stay top of mind. You want to be communicative in a professional way. And you want to keep the conversation going for a bit longer than just one or two little emails. And that will help you stand out. So with that kind of as the foundation, here's what I do when I get a request for my standard rates. First of all, I determine if it's a USA, Canadian, UK client or potential client, or an international client, because I have two different rate sheets for the USA, Canada, UK clients and international clients. And so first of all, I've got to determine, what kind of where they're located. Second, I just simply attach my standard rates to the email reply. Third, I construct a brand new individualized email that is short, sweet, and hard to beat. Remember, if you have a fish nibbling at your bait, you want to keep them interested. That's important. Fourth, I try to keep them in a conversation just to see if my rates are, kind of in the ballpark of what they normally pay. So I usually ask them a question like, here are my standard rates. Is this kind of close to what you normally pay? And just try to get them to answer me so that I can talk about being flexible and kind of see where they're at as far as rates. And of course, to keep them in a little bit of a conversation. And just so you know, about 99% of the time, I usually say that I can be flexible or somewhat flexible. I'm just glad to try and work with their VO budgets. I know VO budgets are all over the board these days. And so what I try to do is say, hey, I can be flexible because I know project by project, client by client, these things, can vary quite a bit. And even like internationally, things can change, or even within the United States. Sometimes I've been surprised where I thought that I'd be getting a bigger, VO budget, and then I get a smaller one. Or, I go to a much smaller, video production company, maybe in a small town somewhere, and they have a big budget. So anyway, the fifth one is that 99% of the time I say, hey, I can be flexible or somewhat flexible. Now, here's what I do with a request for a specific project quote. Like, for instance, not just a request for standard rates, but if they say, hey, we've got a 4-minute narration video for you to do. Then what I try to do, first and foremost, again, is construct a brand new individualized email, short, to the point, and make sure to thank them for, their warm reply. Second, make sure I understand the project scope. Things like what's the length of the project that I'm quoting and what's going to be the usage, things like that. Is it e-learning? Is it corporate? Is it broadcast? So those two things are very important. Third thing I do is I carefully, tactfully ask if they already have a VO budget in mind. And I say something like, I'd be happy to throw out a flexible quote if you need me to, but if you already have a budget in mind, I'm glad to hear about that. And, then I wait for their reply. Fourth, I don't push number 3. I don't, keep going back. Oh, you don't have a budget. You want me to quote it. Well, could you possibly let me know? Are you sure you don't have a budget? I then get back with them with a flexible budget. And again, I emphasize flexible because one of the things that I want to do is I want to work. And unless it's way, way below my standard rate, then I'm usually going to take the job because of 2 things. 1, I want the job. And 2, I've had a lot of low-paying first projects that then turn into lots of paying projects or higher-paying projects. So being flexible isn't a problem for me at all. For either the standard rate request or the quote request, once you've sent those, there's nothing wrong with, if you don't hear back, to wait a few days or maybe a week and just follow up and say, as a reminder, hey, I'm Todd Barsness. We talked about our standard rates, and no problem, I didn't hear back from you. I just wanted to make sure it didn't land in junk or spam and that you got my rates, and if you have any other questions. So that's our second video on warm replies, and I hope these are being helpful for you. Thanks a lot for joining me for Todd's Tips. And if you'd like more information about VO Marketing Pro or anything else VO related, visit our Facebook website or contact us via email. The links are listed here.